All right, we're loaded in now for game number 2 here of our round at the ESL Pro Tour America. Weekly number 5. I'm your host, Nathanias, and in the top left, spawning as the red Zerg player representing Canada and Team Liquid, he is TLO. I hope one day we get to do a StarCraft event at a stadium and I can give him that kind of walk-on cheer from the announcer booth. In the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player leading 1-0 with a fantastic Nidus Roche push after getting some sneaky banelings between the cheeks of that main base on map number 1. He is Namshar. And we're playing on Simulacrum. This map triggers me because your third base is very far away. You have a lot of different angles to attack it from, but in Zerg versus Zerg, well, I'm not going to make any claims about that. We'll just see how things go. We'll take it slow, one step at a time. I mean, we only just met each other, right? And, well, you know, I didn't have straight A's, so your parents might not even like me, right? We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. No crazy fast pool cheese of any variety is going on in this Zerg versus Zerg. And I do like ZvZ because it kind of forces you to ad-lib a little bit more. You watch enough of it, you kind of pick up on some patterns, but you miss some of the finer details, not being a Zerg player yourself. This matchup is probably the most, if not one of the most, that goes the other way. Micro-intensive matchups, though. I mean, just the Ling Bane early on can be so difficult. It can be so difficult to try and do those early Ling Bane battles. Because what really opened up a lot of opportunity for TLO in game 1, excuse me, for Namshar in game 1, was just the fact that he was able to slip those 2 Zerglings into the main base of Dario, which was like basically over here on Nightshade, and then just blow up the Lings, or blow up the drones. And something like that is very hard to try and sneak by someone, but the opportunity was created by TLO himself, because TLO was trying to snipe one Baneling with one Zergling, which, while we would normally say, yes, very creative, very fantastic, I would also say is, well, it's a little bit APM intensive, and that opened up the door for that amazing pressure. So Namshar took the third base at the same time as TLO. They both got Baneling nests coming in, Zergling speeds, very even for both of them, except Namshar wanted to go straight across the map so that he could force out more Lings and possibly a cancellation on this base from TLO, which would be devastating. Considering the timing of Namshar's base, if he was able to get a cancel here of any kind, obviously a kill kind of seems off the table. I do feel like you would find yourself in a position where you'd have a really hard time not just going for an all-in, which would be quite tough to do. So we'll see what happens. Ling speed's done for both of them. Dario did defend the third. That's very important. Thanks, Crushinator. Love you, buddy. And these Lings trying to chase down some of the Ling Bane morphing outside. And Namshar says, no, I'm bringing the pressure. All right. I mean, I'm bringing so much pressure. These Zerglings have got pressure cookers. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm on a list now for saying those words on the internet. Trying to spread the Banes. That's what I was talking about. That very micro-intensive. You want to make sure you have that Bane count lead. He trades 4 of his own to snipe that Bane. But if you can get rid of all the Banes of your enemy, then your Lings can overwhelm. Now, of course, the other thing to keep in mind is that Banelings trade 2 for 2. It takes 2 Banelings to kill 1 Baneling. So basically, if you throw 2 Banelings into 10 Banelings, you'll kill all of them in a very cost-effective trade, which makes this even more anxiety-inducing, stressful. Namshar's Lings have put on a decent little bit of pressure, but with the number of Banelings that there are, he hasn't been able to really find a foothold just yet. Meanwhile, Dario, he is getting his Roach Horn, he's getting his Carapace, or excuse me, his Evolution Chamber for upgrades, but Namshar is just looking for a window. He's trying to smell the blood in the water. He's a hungry shark. He's going to grab a queen, pull back, and that's a really nice grab. Every single little bit that he can get his paws on. It's going to be so nice. Do we call them paws if they're Zerg, or claws? Paws and Claws is actually the name of a wonderful zoo up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Great place. Awful dumpster fire. People sleeping outside of it. It's really, you really don't go there. Don't go there, guys. We do have a little bit of a counterattack from TLO trying to get onto this third base. Some of the Banelings not yet morphed does open the opportunity. 3 drones picked off for Dario. Wunsch. And the rest of these lings are trying to find a little bit more purchase as the Roach transition begins. Now, what's funny is Namshar has that +1 attack so much further along than TLO, but his Roach Warren is so far behind, he literally cannot build any roaches yet. And without the capacity to build roaches, even if he started the game with +3 attack for them, it wouldn't be enough. Looks like a Baneling just killed some lings there. But overall, TLO finds himself a few workers ahead right now, which means if he can put on the pressure, drag this out, surely he's going to be able to produce more units over a longer period of time if Namshar does not get an opportunity to rebuild those drones. And where did that drone difference come from? The harass on that third gets a good initial detonation. He's burning quite a few Banelings for really not a lot of Zerglings. And this is really important because you need those lings to also help tank. Once the roaches are out, they can right click on those Banelings, and that's going to open up the door here. TLO is getting ready to drive the knife through the heart of Namshar on that natural expansion. Now Namshar is starting to crank out his roaches. We cannot forget he was ahead on upgrades. So finally that late roach horn kicks in. And TLO, I still like everything about the aggressive posture because he was ahead on workers. But now Namshar is going to feel comfortable squeezing out a wave of drones of his own. TLO is still building attacking units as his +1 completes. Namshar is getting a lair. TLO, what's a lair? 7 more roaches is what he wants. So he's basically trying to fake Namshar out into thinking that the attack is over and they're going to advance to the next phase of the game. And then he's going to come out and say, surprise, brood brother, and, you know, bring out 1,000 roaches and drown him in blood of roaches. So lings are going to get this run to the queen, not able to block the ramp, getting on top of the drones in the natural expansion, and then heading into the queen that came down the ramp to try and protect this one. That one is almost kill. Oh my goodness, gets the Baneling and kills the queen at the same time. Meanwhile, getting onto the drones of Namshar, TLO wants to tie this best of 3 up, and he is putting Namshar to the ropes in map number 2. Namshar does not have roach speed. He's trying to run away. He's eating a few hits from those lings. Even these Banelings, because they move faster than the roaches, they could actually body block. Or, as long as you're hitting at least 3 units with a Baneling, they are technically cost effective. So, Dario is ready to bring the pain. Namshar was able to get drones out, but unfortunately, TLO just, well, we talked about it. He didn't build any more drones. He took that advantage, and he's going to try to ride it all the way to a game number 3 rubber match. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got roaches coming in from the south side as he has that third base locked down. Drones having to come fight is never going to be a good place for Namshar. Army supply 76 to 37 as Liquid TLO continues to crush, kill, and destroy. GG. We're going to game 3.